Hey, Dan here, and I cannot say how excited I am about this video and the following two videos I am going to be filming. Starting and staying on the ketogenic diet has been one of the best things I have done for my life, for my mental health, and for my business. And yes, I get it, I totally sound like an infomercial, but there's nothing being sold here. There's no product, there's no guide. I am really just wanting to share my own experience. I started on the ketogenic diet in January 2018. It is now about 18 months later, and I am just as excited, if not more excited about it. And so today I want to share 3 benefits that I have found that I think are especially true as an ENFP, but regardless of your personality type, I think this is an awesome diet. You know what, scratch that. Let's not call it a diet. Let's call it a lifestyle choice, an eating choice, because diet sounds like you're depraving yourself. And as you're gonna hear, as I go through some of these benefits and the misunderstandings, it is not really that bad. Now, the second video I'm going to film is about some of the common misunderstandings. So we're going to start with the benefits, get you excited, the same way I got really excited about this diet when I started out. I said diet again, didn't I? We're going to say lifestyle. Then we're going to look at the misunderstandings, and then in the third video in this series, once you're motivated, once you understand why this is a great way to eat, I'm going to share some of my best tips for getting started, for staying, and for getting the most out of this. So I'm going to start with the biggest benefit I found. And by the way, these are the surprising benefits. I'm not going to share basic stuff like losing weight. Yeah, of course, it's a diet. You'll lose weight and actually keep it off and all that stuff. So maybe that is surprising if you are very weary of anything called diet or meal plans or anything like that. That I'm taking for granted. These are on top of the body changes, weight loss, anything like that. The first surprising benefit was really huge increases in my ability to focus. Now, the more I've looked into this, this should not be surprising. See, when you're on the keto diet, which is a high fat, low protein, extra low carb diet, it changes how your body gets energy, and your brain gets energy from ketones instead of glucose. Well, this diet has actually been used to treat epilepsy for around 100 years, and it's very effective. The only reason they don't often prescribe it to children is because getting a kid to stay on a extremely high fat diet, not the most realistic thing in today's world, right? With the school system, with everything else. But when I read that, it started to make sense to me why I was feeling so much more energy, why I could focus more, my thinking was clearer, why I was functioning at a much higher level. So I'm not going to get into all the details here. I will share some tips in the third video on how to really turn up that mental focus. But I'm telling you, the difference in thinking, it's not something like I feel maybe 5-10% better. I'm talking 50-100% better. When I am fully on this diet, okay, we're just going to call it diet, all right? We're sticking with that. When I am fully on this diet, my thinking is like double. The amount of productive hours I get in a day where I'm thinking clearly, where I'm delivering, where I'm staying focused and on task is probably like twice as much, really. And so I cannot emphasize this enough. Whenever I'm out somewhere, I've had this happen at my event in Mexico, talking to one of the guests, Vedo. I've had this come up at weddings. When I have the opportunity, I will rave about this diet and the changes it's had on my thinking and business. The second surprising benefit of this diet is it's really allowed me to indulge and eat like a pig if you want. See, I always have an appetite. You know, they say like if you're sick and you lose your appetite, that's a bad sign. And as long as you have a healthy appetite, things are kind of okay. I never lose my appetite. I can always eat no matter what is going on. And so something that was based on restricting calories or not eating a lot just on its own would not work for me. The cool thing with this diet is after the first month or so, you start to change how your body processes food and how it gets its energy. And when you get your energy from fat, you no longer have these big swings where you have to eat every couple hours. Some days I won't eat for 6-7 hours and I don't really notice it. I do get hungry eventually and I do want to eat, but it's not like before where after 2-3 hours I would get moody. I guess this is a fourth benefit actually, that in terms of getting moody and having emotional swings more if I don't eat, which I used to totally do, that's completely been eliminated as well. But to the main point here on being able to indulge is this diet helps you lose weight because it changes how you process food, and it ultimately changes maybe how hungry you get. But when I do eat, I indulge and I don't think about calories. Like, people see what I cook and I'll be pouring butter on everything. I guess you don't pour butter, you slice butter, put it on everything. Olive oil, cheeses, big portions. I eat within the limits of this plan what I want in terms of quantity and big meals and everything else. So I never really feel like I'm starving or restricted or anything like that. If anything, I would say the quality of food that I eat now, in terms of both how healthy it is for me, but also the taste, the portion size, the general eating experience has went up since I've started this. So no complaints. I never feel restricted. Sometimes when I'm out, I feel a little more restricted in terms of what's available, but there's always options there. But when I'm at home and I'm cooking what I want, I never feel like I'm holding back or restricted. Could not be happier. And the third benefit, and this one is probably the most specific for us ENFPs, is I feel that it helps me meet my need for variety and for change. And I'm going to explain that. See, with this diet, you can have cheat days if you want. Now, I'm not going to get into those details here. You shouldn't go on cheat days like every week or you're going to screw up everything. But what I've found is that by generally being quite strict and following on this, that when I do say go on a trip, earlier this year I went to Italy and Spain and I just ate whatever I wanted. The amount of satisfaction I get from that novelty, from that variety, because not only am I going to Italy and Spain, but I'm also eating food I don't normally eat at home. It was just a really nice experience. And I've realized that sometimes when I am here in Prague and maybe I'm not getting as much variety as I'd really like, that I can go out and have some epic cheat meal, and that will actually meet my need for variety. And I know that in theory, if I was on no diet, I could just go out and eat anything I wanted always, and in theory that would have the same amount of variety, but it doesn't feel that way. It's like by being restricted, when I stop that restriction for a short period of time, I really enjoy that experience more. It gives me more variety and more satisfaction in that. Now in the next video, I'm going to cover some of the most common misunderstandings I hear about this diet and some of the things that have come up when I've met people who've tried it. Quite often I'll meet someone who's been on it for a few months or on and off even for a year, and they generally got a good experience but did not seem to have the same benefits that I have. And when I get into some of the things they're doing, it becomes very clear why that is happening. So I'm going to cover that as well. So definitely, if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you'll get notified when I publish that next video. And in the comments below, just let me know right now, do you follow any kind of eating plan? And if so, why? And if not, why not? Thank you for watching, and I will see you in that next video soon. Oh, and just before you go, I wanted to let you know I'm hosting a 3-day retreat in Vancouver, Canada, late July this summer. I'll include a card pop-up for that and the link in the description below. Check it out if you're interested in joining us and connecting with some awesome people. It would be great to have you there.